On this all-new episode of Primetime Panthers, Katie Engelson sits down with Mackie Samoskevich to relive his first career NHL goal.
Knew it was coming. I felt it. We were getting chances, playing good, getting opportunities, and then it was a special night for sure.
And Spencer Knight shares his outlook on the season as he continues to see his role grow.
Learning how to just handle yourself when you're playing a lot, playing more. That's where I think I've improved the most, and I think that's what's actually going to carry me.
Plus, we recap the thrilling win over the Philadelphia Flyers.
Ekblad in the slot, fire save, rebound for Hagee, stop, another chance, and they score! Sam Reinhart!
He puts it upstairs where Mummy's cookies are really expensive.
All of that and more this week on Primetime Panthers. Primetime Panthers is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Looked like the Islanders early on might run away and hide, but the Panthers have had to push. Here's Samoskevich all the way into the wraparound. There it is! Mackie's got the first of his NHL career!
Watch the blazing speed, and he just goes wide, and then he sees that Varlamov is committed on that far post, and it just works.
Here he comes with Greer. Mackie catches up to it, fires and scores! Mackie Samoskevich!
Cross-ice pass, just stepping into it and pick the far corner.
Hit by Samoskevich, good check. Panthers have a chance. Forsling in front, deflected, score! It's Mackie Samoskevich! Reinhart trying to get free, Barkov in front, gets up, and they score! At the buzzer! It's good! Incredible play by the Panthers!
Markov cross-ice to Tkachuk, to Samoskevich to finish it off. Pretty to watch.
Welcome into this all-new episode of Primetime Panthers. I'm Katie Engelson. It has been a whirlwind start to the season for Panthers forward Mackie Samoskevich, who's accomplished a lot of firsts this year, including his very first NHL goal. I had the chance to sit down with Mackie and relive that special moment. Well, Mackie, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Last year, you got a little taste of the NHL, but this year you're playing more consistently. Where do you feel you've grown the most?
I think just confidence-wise, when you're a young guy in the league, you get here and you're playing against all the guys that you've looked up to your whole life. So you kind of sit back and you're like, wow, but once that's over with, you start to build your confidence and you can start actually thinking that you could actually play with these guys. And I know I'm a good player, so I think just getting the confidence going, I know what my game can do. So yeah, I think confidence-wise was the biggest thing for sure.
You mentioned some of those players that you've looked up to your whole life. Is there anyone that you've been really starstruck playing against or with?
I played in Pittsburgh last year in January, and then there was a scrum in the second period, I think, or something like that, and I was sitting right next to Crosby, and it was the craziest thing ever. I was like, should I be going at him a little bit here, or what? So that was a crazy moment for sure. I think any kid would say that that's the guy that they looked up to. So that was definitely one of those moments I remember.
What is it about Sidney Crosby that you really look up to and admire?
I mean, how good he is, obviously, but he's one of those guys that plays, both sides of the puck. And, to be good in this league, you have to be really good on both sides of the puck. And, Barkey's really good at it. So, and you see how good he is and how much he's done so much. So, yeah, I'd say obviously how good he is defensively, and I think off the ice he's such a good leader too. The stuff he does with fans and stuff like that, he's such a good person. Just the stories you hear, how he treats other people, it's pretty awesome and definitely something easy to look up to.
Here's Samoskevich, who came close last time. All the way into the wraparound, there it is! Mackie's got the first of his NHL career!
Not too long ago, you scored your very first NHL goal back in October against the New York Islanders. You told me after that moment that you felt like a weight was lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah.
What do you remember from that moment and that day?
I remember my family was there. A lot of them were there, so I knew I had to get it there. So I remember game started well, like we were playing well, and then I had a couple of chances. I think I ringed one off the post. I think it almost hit the other post too, so it was pretty close, and knew it was coming. I felt it, like, you know, we were getting chances, playing good, getting, you know, opportunities, and then, you know, I got speed up the wall, and, you know, I think my ability just kind of took over. I, you know, took a guy wide and then thought I could beat the goalie to the other side, and luckily it went in. And I've had a couple of those earlier in the year, so I knew third time I couldn't miss it. So it was a special night for sure.
What did they say to you after the game?
I mean, just how proud they were. I was so thankful for them too. Like, you start to think back to all those times driving to the rink and all the tournaments you go to with them. Like, it all leads up to that, and they all did that for me, and you get chills, you know, thinking about. So yeah, one I'll remember for the rest of my life.
After your first goal, what did you do with the puck?
I kept it, that's for sure. They said they're framing it for me. So I framed my first game puck, and then I'll have my first goal puck, and then I kept my stick too. So we'll put that in the room for sure.
Time for our first break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, we learn about Mackie's upbringing and the importance of hockey in his family.
You know, we had an outdoor rink in our backyard. You know, they'd wake up with me at 6 a.m. and go skate with me and stuff like that. Having my sisters too, like, you know, all those times you're a little kid thinking about playing in the NHL, and now that you're actually here, it's pretty cool to think about.
Don't go anywhere. Primetime Panthers on Script Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Primetime Panthers. There are hockey families, and then there are hockey families. Mackie Samoskevich and his two sisters have known nothing but hockey for all of their lives. We rejoin the conversation with Mackie to talk about his childhood and growing up with the sport of hockey.
Is there any moment in particular when you look back to playing hockey as a kid and your parents, you know, driving you to the rink that really makes you think, wow, this is all worth it, and just puts everything into perspective?
Yeah, I mean, they'd get home from work, working all day, and like, they'd have to drive me an hour to the rink. Like, that's not something that is easy to do, and they found a way to enjoy it every day. And, you know, thinking back to all the times, you know, we had an outdoor rink in our backyard. You know, they'd wake up with me at 6 a.m. and go skate with me and stuff like that. Having my sisters too, like, you know, all those times, you know, you're a little kid thinking about playing in the NHL, and now that you're actually here, it's pretty cool to think about.
You did mention your sisters, Maddie, who's playing at Quinnipiac, your twin sister, and then your older sister, Melissa, who played some professional hockey and is a coach. Mm-hmm. What was it like growing up in the Samoskevich family with the three of you playing hockey, and how did this love for the sport come about?
It was a blast. I mean, having those two around was the best, you know, like actually the best. Like, two best friends that you could, you know, hang around with every day, play hockey with. We'd be out the rink, I think, for 3 hours just playing hockey, and it's definitely pretty special and really cool to think about.
How did you all push one another to become better?
It started with my older sister, Melissa. I mean, growing up, her work ethic was just out of this world. Like, she played boys hockey, both of them did, until they couldn't anymore. So that says a lot about them, like how good they were, how driven they were. You know, that's something that my parents kind of taught us, is work ethic, and obviously it shows with, I think, the success that all three of us had.
And then your twin sister, Maddie, what was it like growing up as a twin and two twins that played hockey and had so much in common?
Yeah, it was great. Sharing a birthday is cool too. You know, having a friend to do it with, it's great. Like, we played with each other, against each other. Like, it was a blast. Having her around at all times was great. You know, having a buddy to do it with always helps. So it was a blast.
What does the family group chat look like after a game? One of your games, or maybe one of Maddie's or Melissa's?
We got a bunch of dogs now, so a lot of videos of the dogs, a lot of content of them running around. But, you know, always a good game or good luck, almost like clockwork now. You know, I look at my phone 4 hours before the game. That shows up. So their support is always there, and I always, you know, feel that I have their support, and it helps me so much. You know, having them to help me out, and me being there to help them out too is big. So yeah, it's pretty special for them to kind of be around there and share it with me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mackie, so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Time for a break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, we sit down with Panthers netminder Spencer Knight to talk about his outlook on the season.
What I found is that sometimes it's not always improving on those skills like your skating or your technical ability that makes you better, but it's learning how to handle everything that comes with being a professional goalie.
Primetime Panthers is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. Don't go anywhere. Primetime Panthers will be right back. Welcome back to Primetime Panthers.
In front, the feed, the shot, Knight the save on Alex Tuck. In the slot, Knight the save, rebound! And that one misses, oh my goodness! Out Ziplikov as a man alone in front, Nelson stopped by the glove of Knight. Oh, there's another chance, and Knight reaches back and keeps it out of the net again on Lee. Puts it out in front, and Knight with a huge save. McMichael to the net of the backhand, what a save by Knight! Carlson puts it in front. The shot, oh, Spencer Knight made the save, or did it hit the post?
I think it hit the post.
My goodness, what a chance. He puts it in front, save by Knight. He just goes across, great save by Knight on the one-timer. Look out, lead feed. Here comes Natchez against Knight, and Spencer makes a huge save. Spencer Knight comes up big.
Welcome back to Primetime Panthers. I'm Katie Engelson. Another young Panther that is making a lot of progress with his game is goaltender Spencer Knight. I had the opportunity to sit down with Knight earlier this season and talk about his outlook on this season and a whole lot more. With a few years under your belt professionally, playing hockey, where do you feel like your game has developed the most?
You know, I think my game itself, you know, like the technical part and, you know, what people see on the ice has improved maybe in less ways than, say, how I carry myself. And that's not saying I haven't improved on the ice. I have a lot, but what I found is that sometimes it's not always like improving on those skills like your skating or your technical ability that makes you better, but it's learning how to handle everything that comes with being a professional goalie. And there's so much that goes with that, and learning how to just handle yourself when you're playing a lot, playing more, having the schedule be a little crazier, you know, being put in difficult situations on the ice. And that's where I think I've improved the most, and I think that's what's actually going to carry me when I, you know, eventually play 60, 65 games a year.
Is there anything in particular that has really helped you in that regard that you kind of...
Yeah, I think it's just experience. You know, I think you have to live through those situations to learn from them. And that's really how you grow, because, you know, at some point you kind of just have to take the training wheels off and just go do it. And that's sometimes the best practice, is just doing it, learning, making mistakes, and that's eventually how you'll grow.
How did last year in the AHL really help you?
I think it's because I actually got to play more and be put in more situations that's where I found the most growth. Be able to play more games more consistently and be put in difficult situations and learn how to do that. And I felt that, honestly, I actually felt more like a professional hockey player last year than I've ever had before. It actually felt like I was doing what I want to do, and that's play a lot. And so it was really good. I think just being able to be exposed to so many different situations. You know, you can't replicate when it's say 3-2 in a game, and it's the third period with 2 minutes left, and they just pull their goalie, and maybe you're down a man 6-on-4. You can't replicate that scenario, that pressure, and then they have the puck and, you know, a grade A shot. You can't replicate that in like a 2-on-1 in a practice, or that situation of practice, because you just can't. It's practice. It's, you know. So I think being able to just go into those situations in the American League was where I benefit the most.
So what are some of the aspirations that you do have right now?
I have a lot. I think, I think last year is probably the most growth I've seen in my confidence in myself, just because I think I already know who I am. 65 games a year, and hopefully Olympics, Vesnas, and all that, and team success, obviously, again, the Stanley Cup, hopefully. And, just doing that and staying on that path.
How important is it to have a goaltender like Sergei Bobrovsky to look up to and learn from, and how would you describe the relationship that you both have?
Yeah, I didn't play with Bob last year. I played with him, I think, the first few years, obviously, in my career, and he's a great friend of mine, good mentor. And it's not like he's just telling me what to do or how to do it or whatever. I think it's more just, seeing how he carries himself and, just learning through just being friends and being teammates. It's not like it's not his job to take care of me. And I think I take things from him, and when I'll see him how he does something and do it, but at the same time, I'm my own person. I have to do things myself too. And I think we're different in certain ways. And that's where you have to also realize that as much as you want to idolize the great goaltenders, you have to realize that you're your own goalie and you have to do what's best for you.
20-save shutout, number 30, Spencer.
Time for our final break here on Primetime Panthers. Coming up next, we relive the thrilling up-and-down game against the Philadelphia Flyers.
Reinhart in front, Barkov, oh, what a goal! And it's 3-zip now. The dynamic duo hooks up.
Oh, that's just a peach, hon. They love to score on the rush.
Keep it locked. Primetime Panthers on Scripps Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Primetime Panthers. Spencer Knight and your Cats look to finish off the road trip strong when the puck dropped in the city of brotherly love.
Inside Wells Fargo Center, it'll be a battle. Panthers and the Philadelphia Flyers. Rodriguez pushes it down the ice. Pressuring Forster all the way back. Rodriguez has it, shoots, score! What a goal and what an effort by Evan Rodriguez to give the Panthers the lead.
That's that tenacious forechecking, and Evan Rodriguez is one of the best in the league at that.
Matthew in behind the net. Mikkola, quick shot, score! Kachuk sets up another one. Nico Mikkola upstairs for a 2-0 lead. Kachuk now 5 points in the last 4 periods of hockey.
He's on a heater. That's his game. When you see him getting under people's skin, he's on it and he's into the game. And when he does that, he's got all the talent in the world, the vision to make plays, and he's doing that right now.
Connecting in front, kicked out by Spencer Knight. Point shot here. Knight the save, and then it went right through the blue paint. Reinhart in front, Barkov, oh, what a goal! And it's 3-zip now. The dynamic duo hooks up.
Oh, that's just a peach, hon. They love to score on the rush.
Oh, a turnover. Here's a shot, score! Philadelphia's within a goal. Nick Sealer.
Well, the Flyers got the energy right now, and they got the forecheck going and caused the turnover.
2 goals in less than 2.5 minutes. The race is on. Farabee gets to it. Farabee on the backhand. Knight makes the save. Hagee out in front of the net. Chuck's got the puck. Looks, puts it in front. Save, rebound for Hagee, scores again! And the Panthers now lead it 4-2. Panthers add to the lead. They're 2 for 2 in the power play.
We went out with a purpose on the power play, and I think we were getting pucks back, even when we had to rim them, not clean entries, and we were making plays off it and moving it quick. And I think that's the biggest thing for the power play. And when we're moving it quick like that, we're usually pretty good.
Oh, look out, it's Tippett, and he scores one! A broken play, and Owen Tippett makes it 4-3.
Flyers just keep hanging around.
Now Tippett moves again. Tippett puts it in front, and they score another one! It's tied.
Oh, for the love of Moose DuPont.
We'll go to the third tie.
And 20 minutes will be exciting to watch here coming up.
I didn't go in after the second because I love these guys, and there wouldn't have been anything but vile, evil thoughts and words. And some nights you need to just shut up and not go in the room.
When it's 4-4 going into the third, you can't really change the first 40, and just got to win a period. And I guess the one positive going into the third is we're tied on the road, and we'll take that every time.
Ristolainen shot bouncing around in front. Knight is down, and they score! Hathaway gives Philadelphia its first lead of the night. Konechny breaks in over the line. Konechny in front. Big save by Knight. Rodriguez wins it. Here's Forsling up at the line with a shot. Score! It got through! Gustav Forsling! It's 5-5 in Philly. What a wild game this has been.
Appreciate the impact that he had on the game at the end. I thought he was strong. He was probably the guy I liked the most on the blue line here there tonight for our team.
5-5 game. Hathaway and Forsling exchanging goals here in the third. Not the way either coach would like to see their team stylistically play. Ekblad in the slot, fire save, rebound for Hagee, stop, another chance, and they score! Sam Reinhart, league leading, 19th of the year, 6-5 Florida.
He puts it upstairs where Mummy's cookies are really expensive.
We found a way to, get a win. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't our best. We have to learn from it, and we get those leads.
We got to weather the storm better. We're normally pretty good at it. Tonight we were not, but good news is we scored more than they did somehow. So gotta take the win.
Matthew Tkachuk, now he's got a 4-point night, and the Panthers salted away.
What a game this has been.
That does it for this week on Primetime Panthers. Make sure to mark your calendars for next week, where we will be bringing you behind-the-scenes content from the Florida Panthers road trip out west. We'll see you next week right here on Script Sports.
Primetime Panthers has been presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.